Good afternoon. Today is the 7th of January. Unfortunately, the weather's not particularly good today, and so neither is the lighting. I'm afraid there's not an awful lot I can do about that. But if an Amazon Prime van decides to light up the surroundings, then obviously that is quite desirable. We're talking about the top 10 best-selling cars of December 2021. There will actually be a separate video about the top 10 best-selling cars of 2021 as a whole. If I was to do those two together, this video would be even longer than it already is, and so I've decided that we'll split those up. But that's quite enough of me trying to introduce this topic. Let's get on with this. This video won't have any special editing in it. It won't have any statistics on the screen or any models of car. That would take me a very long time to do, and this is really a kind of a bit of a niche thing. There's quite a few people actually who are interested in watching this, but it's not quite enough for me to spend hours editing this with very little gain in terms of the audience. So we'll just have to cope with me talking to you. And so if you want to put the screen on something else whilst I do this, then feel very free to do that. The astonishing thing about last month is that certain types of car have really sort of come through in a way that even I wasn't particularly expecting. So we're looking at this change between December 2020 and 2021, and it's not straight away a particularly positive change. Now, the last couple of years have not been great for car sales anyway. They've not been very good, and not very good for many other things. But 18.2% down on December 2020 is quite significant compared with last month. People keep asking me, they've been asking me an awful lot, why we don't talk about dealers on the channel. We've been going on about this now for 3.5 years on this channel, but it's because increasingly they are less and less relevant. You just have to look at the sales for last month to see this. There's a 67% change in the sales of this particular type of fuel between December 2020 and last month. It's gone down from 15,800 to 5,200. The market share has gone down from about 12% to about 5%. Extraordinary change. Now, when I say sales, what I actually mean is registration. So just get that clear, because you can go into a dealership and order a car then, but that doesn't mean the car is actually ready straight away. Often they have to register it and sort the other things out. So this is just the month the car's registered in, and we'll talk a bit more about this later, because actually this does skew the results sometimes quite a lot. So with mild hybrid diesel cars, this is mainly the kind of older versions of the Kia Sportage and the Hyundai Tucson and similar things. I know some Audis are like this, but it's not really changed very much. It's slightly decreased. Market share has gone down from 4.3 to 3.6%, and the percentage change rate is 32. In 2020, it was 5,750 cars, and last month 3,900. Petrol, again, quite a decline, 28%. The market share of that has dropped from 44% to 38.7%. It's a 28% decrease. And the number of cars has gone down from 58,500 to 42,000. Mild hybrid petrol, that's a lot of cars now. Volkswagen, Suzuki's, Kias and Hyundais, lots and lots of different types of car are now mild hybrid petrols. Market share is not particularly different. It's gone from 10.3% to 11.7%. And actually the number of cars sold has actually gone down. It's gone down from about 14,000 to 12,700. Which is a 6.7% change, even if the market share has increased, which just shows there's been a significant number, fewer cars actually sold last month. This is where it gets interesting, though. Whether you have an opinion about electric cars or not, and some of you might, some of you might not, you can't deny that they're selling a lot more of them now. Sales have increased from about 22,000 to 28,000. It's a 26.4% change. The market share has gone from 16.5% to 25.5%. It's annihilated the forbidden fuel cars. It's 5 times as much. 5 times as much now. Still not confused about why we don't talk about them on the channel. Last category, which is actually split into two, is hybrids, and not mild hybrids, but plug-in hybrids. Things like the Seat Leon plug-in hybrid, and then hybrid cars, which are things like the Toyota Corolla. That's always the best example to use, and many others now. The plug-in hybrids, despite no government incentive anymore, they have increased their market share from 6.9% to 7.7%. Overall change in sales, though, is down by about 9%, because in 2020 they sold 9,100 cars in December, and last month they sold about 8,300, so quite a change. Normal hybrids, market share has gone from 6 to 8%. There's actually been a change in increase. It's probably due to new models with the hybrid powertrains becoming on the market, and the ever popular Toyota Corolla in various forms. So the change is up by 9.3%. So we're looking at about 8,000 cars last December. 2020, by what I say last December. Last month, about 9,000. So that's a significant change. For quite a number of months, the Tesla Model 3 has been a significant car in the top 10 best sellers. And actually, for the year, it's in second place. The Tesla Model 3 is the second best-selling car in this country for 2021. And for December, it was the best. They sold almost 10,000 of them. That is more than double the number of the next best-selling car. Double last month. Still think electric cars are an irrelevance? You might not like them, but they're here to stay. Crazy. Second place is the Mini, the Mini hatch, I think some people call them. That's on about just under 5,000 cars sold. Then another big jump down to the Corsa, which actually finished the year as the best-selling car. The Ford Fiesta, which has been the best seller for I don't know how long, is not in the statistics for last month, and it's not in the statistics for the whole year at all. Gone. It's gone from number 1 to out of the top 10. Extraordinary. So the Corsa is on about 2,600. The Nissan Juke, Planet Auto recently done a review of one of those, 2,300. Then the Qashqai had one of those as well recently, 2,100. Sixth place now, the Ford Puma. It's been quite a big seller this year actually. About 18,027. Next one is a Vauxhall Mocha, very close. Obviously they're competing in the same market actually, those two cars. 18,021. Then the Volvo XC40, obviously the plug-in hybrid and the electric versions of that car has boosted sales. 1755. The Peugeot 2008, first time I've ever seen that in the top 10. Probably helped by the 2008 version. 1672. Nissan Leaf closing it out. 1578. I've no idea why the Leaf, it doesn't normally appear in them, but yes, electric cars, viewers, they seem to be here to stay. Let's now get to my favourite thing. Maybe turn these lights on. Make sure I mute the stereo doing this. Maybe that's a bit better. I don't know. Let's turn that off. There we go. Yeah, the Sanyong little symbol there. tune. Where we do this is we look at the marks individually, and we look at percentage change from December 2020. We look at the number of cars actually sold, and we compare the market share. First one, as always, is Abarth, and they haven't had a great month. There's only one car on sale. It's derivatives of the old Fiat 500, but it's been going for 14, 15 years it is now. Market share has actually increased slightly. That's because the market is generally down by about 18%. It's gone from 0.12 to 0.1. It's a 35% decrease, and it's 162 versus 105. That's the change. Alfa Romeo, again, Stellantis brand associated with Abarth and so many others. It's gone from 56.5. It's gone from 285 to 124. Big decrease, about 56%. Market share has halved from 0.21 to 0.11. Alpine, I don't normally read those because the statistics are quite small. I mean, they sold 13 cars last month. Audi, they have gone, they've actually increased in terms of volume and market share. It's a 2.85% increase. They've gone from 5.6 to 7% of the market. Extraordinary. Outsold BMW, actually, too. It's about 7,400 to 7,700. Bentley, a 19% decrease. Market share exactly the same at 0.11, but it's 134 cars versus 116. BMW, quite a big decrease, 38%, but now they had a very good month in December 2020. They sold over 10,000 cars. That was an 8% market share. It's now down to 6, and they sold about 6,400. Citroën, they have gone from about 1,700 cars to about 1,400. They were 1.29% of the market to 1.32. I'm very, very bad with numbers and figures, I'm afraid, viewers. I always have been. And that's a 16% decrease. So, yeah, 0.29 to 0.32, which is a decrease overall, but in terms of the market share, it's actually a slight increase. Cupra have had quite a good month. They sold 564 cars, opposed to 107 in 2020, and that's gone from 0.08% of the market share to 0.52 to 427% increase. Likewise, Dacia, another big increase, 380% increase. It's gone from 363 to 1742, 0.27 market share to 1.6. That's probably the biggest two increases we'll see in these figures. DS, they've also had quite a good month for some reason. They're quite a minority brand in this country. I did just have one on my channel, though, quite recently. 14.8% increase. It was 0.18% of the market, now 0.26, 243 to 279. Fiat. This is, again, a big increase. I'm quite surprised about this, actually, because they haven't actually released any new models in, quite a while. Apart from the Fiat 500 electric, they're still selling things like the Fiat 500 introduced 15 years ago, the Panda that was based on a previous Panda that was introduced in 2003. So, yeah, and the Tipo, that's kind of their newest overall model, apart from the 500 electric, that came out in 2016. So, I don't know what's going on. But they're doing well. 902 cars versus now 1427, 0.68 market share to 1.31, and 58% increase. Ford, not good. Still not good. They're really playing catch up because they just don't seem to be able to build the cars fast enough. Probably one of the reasons why the Fiesta's just dropped out of the top 10 entirely. So 57% decrease, was 8.65% of the market, now is 4.07%. 0.58. 11,000 cars down to 5,000. Extraordinary. Honda, not a bad month, actually an increase, 14%. 1.05 versus now 1.46. And 1,400 cars to about 1,600 cars sold. Hyundai, a very good month for Hyundai. 41% up, 2.54% to 4.36% market share. About 3,000 cars sold, and now about 5,000 cars sold. So, very good. Jaguar, not so good. They've gone from about 3,400 cars to 1,300 cars. They had 2.55% of the market, and now they have 1.23%. It's a 61% decrease. Similarly with Jeep, 63% decrease, was 0.4 the market, now less than 0.2. 534 cars sold, and now 195. Kia, opposite of Hyundai, they've not done so well. No idea why. Was 2.7% of the market. They are slightly down in terms of the market share, not that much, but the overall figure for how many cars few they sold is about 19%. So was 3,600, now 2,900. Do you like Kias? I'm quite fond of those. Land Rover, same as with Jaguar, 41% decrease, was 3.4% of the market, now 2.5%. They sold 4,500 cars in December 2020. Last month, 2,700. Lexus, not a massive change. 6.41% decrease. Was 0.56 in the market, now 0.65, and 750, 700 cars. Maserati, actually an increase, but nothing really has changed, because they only sold 70 cars last month, and, you know, December 2020 it was about 60. Mazda, a very small decrease, but, you know, above the general rate of the market, was 0.96% of the market, now 1.05, and 1,275 cars sold in December 2020, and last month about just for about 1,200, about 8% decrease. Mercedes-Benz, a big decrease, 26%, was 5.64, now down to just 5. 7,500 cars sold in December 2020, last month about 5,500. MG, the first decrease for quite a long time actually, about 21%, was just over 1% of the market share and still is, but about 1,400 cars down to about 1,100. I've no idea what's happened to them, who knows. Mini, 44% increase, was 3% of the market, now about 5.5, and 4,100 has increased to 5,900. So a very good month for them. Nissan, sort of average really, averagely decreased at about 11%. They've gone from 5.3% of the market to about 5.9%, which is just due to the fact the market's down by 18% really. 7,100 cars sold in December 2020, last month 6,400. Peugeot, again, a slight decrease, about 16%. 4% of the market share actually has increased because of the fact that they're, you know, above the general decline. 5,400 cars sold in December 2020, last month 4,500. Polestar, 79% increase, was under 0.2% of the market, now 0.4, 242 versus 433. Porsche, about 2% increase. That's interesting. Maybe it's that Taycan. 1.64 versus 2.05% of the market, and almost exactly the same number of cars sold, about 2,200 in both cases. Renault, they've had quite a good month, a 12% increase. The market has gone from 1.36 to 1.86, and about 1,800 cars to about 2,000, so very good. Seat, massive collapse in sales. I've no idea why, who knows. 75% decrease, probably the biggest one of all. They've gone from 3% of the market to under 1%, and from 4,000 to 1,000 cars sold. Huge collapse. It's like a sort of a test match collapse level there. Skoda, my lights have gone off. I'm sorry about that. I'm afraid I'm going to have those off because otherwise I won't be able to start the car again. Skoda, as I should say, 25% decrease, was 3.7% of the market. About 5,000 cars sold, is now 3.4, but that's only 3,700 cars. Smart, I'm not going to count them because they're quite small. They need to be relaunching soon. SsangYong, the car that I'm sitting in right now, 43% increase. Excellent, well done, SsangYong. Market share's gone from 0.05 to 0.09, 65 cars up to 93. Subaru, similarly an increase, but again, we're not talking massive numbers here. 37.5% increase, gone from 0.1 to 0.16, and 128 cars up to 176. Suzuki, unfortunately, a decrease. Market shares down from about 1% to 0.78. Number of cars sold down from 1,300 to about 850. Toyota, getting strong actually in this country. 6.4% increase, was a 4.3% market share in December 2020. That's actually gone up now to 5.6%. Number of cars sold, 5,700 in December 2020 and 6,100 last month. We're nearly there now, viewers. Vauxhall, 16% decrease, was 5.5% of the market, now 5.6%, although the number of sales has gone down from 7,300 to about 6,100. Volkswagen, surprising for them, a big decrease, down 43%. They sold 15,600 cars in December 2020. I imagine a lot of those were ID3s, actually. Market share's down to 8.15% at about 8,800 cars. Still quite a lot, though. Volvo, despite having a car in the top 10 for last month, 24% decrease on December 2020, 3.4% of the market down to 3.2, and 4,500 cars down to 3,400. Now, it says here other imports. That's mainly Teslas and mainly Model 3s. Tesla has a very strange dealership system in that all the cars come in and get registered pretty much together. So they come in a whole batch, and it's not just the individual dealers registered. They get registered by some kind of central office somewhere. Mainly that's why you see them, I think, on L plates or A plates, most of them. Regardless of where the dealers are, I think that's the way they do it. So 51% increase from 6,400 to 9,600, and it's mainly Tesla Model 3s. I will just after this have a look and just see what the top selling brand last month was. Despite that collapse from Volkswagen, it looks like they are the top selling brand last month. Audi's not far behind, so we really go in for our German cars still in this country. Anyway, thank you ever so much indeed for watching this video on the top 10 best-selling cars of December 2021. I'm very sorry about this lighting business. The weather's just not been great today, and this is the day that I'm having to record this on. So I apologise about that, and also a generally shambolic nature of the presentation, but that's unfortunately just the way it goes on this channel. Thank you ever so much, nevertheless, for watching this video, particularly if you've made it all the way to the end. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video and leave a comment below if you haven't already done so. There's also a join button below if you wish to give to the channel on a more regular basis. You don't have to, obviously, that's entirely optional. But if you did, it would be wonderful. Thank you.